going on, Jerome's? Minnesota Vikings have a week of training camp practice. Talk about practice under their belt. Today is the start of padded practices. You got 2 weeks till the first preseason game against the Houston Texans, and then Patriots joint practice. Then you got the Tennessee Titans. Then regular season and 53-man cuts. Right. So since we're not cowards, we do the 53-man roster projection as well as practice squad. Woo! Some of you love to see. Right. Now. We are going to factor in that we think Addison's going to be suspended, so he does not count against the initial 53. All right, but we're going to go through. Got 53 on the squad. We got one suspended. We got 17 on the practice squad. We'll get into why. Let's dive in. Quarterback 1, obviously, J.J. McCarthy. Howell and Rip as quarterback 2. I think right now there's a little bit of trepidation, just like, I don't know. I don't know, man. Do the Vikings, if Howell and Rippon continue to be less than impressive, do they go scanning the market? Who's available? Who's going to become available on the market as 53-man rosters get trimmed down? I don't know. Brosmer looked good in spurts. I think he's destined for the practice squad. Give him a year for a little bit more seasoning. Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, obviously running back 1 and 2. And I know that O'Connell has talked highly about Ty Chandler in year 4, but I think Xavier Scott has got a little something going on. You know, the pride of UConn, he's a big-bodied running back. He's solid in pass protection, good receiver out of the backfield. Basically, he's a lot of things that Ty Chandler, you wish that he would be more consistent at. I actually got Xavier Scott making the 53, Ty Chandler making the practice squad if he clears waivers, but they'll probably just bring back Cam Akers. I don't know if he's a lock to make the Saints. Really don't. I got Trey Stewart being cut as well. CJ Ham, year 10, special teams captain, fullback aficionado. I'm team fullback, by the way, especially if we want to run the ball more. 5 receivers making the 53. Jefferson, Naylor, Rondale, Ty Felton, who is also in the mix as a return man. They got Deshaun Jones up in year 2. Oh, it's the Maryland takeover with Felton and former teammate Deshaun Jones. But Jonesy has been looking pretty damn good at training camp, and I feel like there was a maturity to his game last year as a UDFA. Had some nice moments, especially with J.J. McCarthy. That's certainly going to matter. And the Vikings, they did give him a decent chunk of UDFA guaranteed money last year. So, I mean, wouldn't be shocked. All right, and then one of our favorite UDFA, Silas Bolden, he could still break late. He breaks late. Everybody knows this. In the return game, super fun player. You know, Thayer Thomas does have some special teams upside, and Lucky Jackson. I mean, Lucky Jackson's sort of made some good plays there. All right, we do have a special teamer, Tim Jones, not making the cut. He easily could, and could be a practice squad call-up. Like, honestly, if we swapped out Thayer for Tim Jones, I'm gonna be mad. Tight end wise, Hawkins Oliver, top 2. Tight end 3, it's wide open. So Urasek and Nesbitt, the 2 UDFAs, I think are on very similar ground as Gavin Bartholomew, the 6th rounder out of Pitt, because Bartholomew's been on the pub. So it's sort of out of sight, out of mind. You know, Zimmer can't make the club in the tub sort of deal. So basically it's like, okay, I don't know if 2 make the practice squad, but I got 1 on the 53, 1 on the practice squad. Also, the Vikings could easily add a tight end when rosters are cut down as a new tight end 3. Offensive line-wise, keep it 9. So Darisaw Jackson, it's for real. Also, Darisaw not on the pup. It's really important. Kelly Fries and Brian O'Neill, the real deal. And then the backups, School, Brandel. I think that the Vikings are liking the idea of hanging on to him. And if you have to pay a premium, that's perfectly fine. Jurgens, backup center. Walter Rouse, backup right guard as well as right tackle. Played some with the second team there. On the practice squad, you got Joe Huber, UDFA guard from Wisconsin. Rashawn Lee, swapping on it. So Rashawn Lee, Zeke Coral, I think they'll keep one in the fold somehow, some way. And then Logan Brown. I mean, Logan Brown was one of my hot takes to make the 53, but practice squad, perfectly fine. But also that certainly could change as the pads come on, because now we're in his world. We're in his world now, Grandma. Absolutely. The defense. So since the Vikings have an extra roster spot because of the Addison suspension or coming suspension, I decided to use the extra 53 spot elsewhere because I don't know what they're going to do about the logjam at defensive line. So Allen Phillips Hargrave, Tyron Ingram Dawkins, and Jalen Redmond, I believe, are locked. So that's 5. LDR Could try to get him on the practice squad, could not, and also Taki Taimani. So basically, just gonna punt on that question of putting one of them on the practice squad. Taki being on the nose, LDR, have him listed as nose. He did moonlight there a little bit during preseason, but more as a pass rushing nose, utility defensive lineman. But basically, they're gonna bring heat all over the place. Elijah Williams, UDFA tryout, made the 90, got him on the practice squad. I like him a lot. And then on the edge, AVG, Grenard, Turner, those are your starters. Richter Murphy as backups, pretty part and parcel. Tyler Batty, the older rookie from BYU. Kind of like his versatility. I think that he's going to start growing and showing in preseason quite a bit. Off-ball linebacker, Pace Cashman, Wilson, and Kobe King, who's been running with the twos. They got Max Tooley on the practice squad. I got the Vikings parting ways with Osama. Whether it's a cut, whether it's a late-round pick swap trade, somewhere there. Cornerback-wise, Rogers, Akuda, Murph has been your top three. Murph starting with Rogers and then Murph kicking into the slot in sub package. You got Nudie Blackman, Tavier Thomas, special teamer, Dynamo. And then I got Zamiah Vaughn, Ambry Thomas on the practice squad. Safety-wise, Harrison Smith-Theo Jackson, Josh Metellus, who just came into some money. It's fantastic. Carrying on my J-Ward Son's been looking good at training camp so far. So I know that Jay Ward has been like a walking penalty on special teams. Hopefully he cleans that up, and as well as could he develop into a solid backup safety. Also does have some cornerback flexibility. It's important. Plus, Michelle Powell, the ball hawk from the U, just U being the U. I think he's going to make some splash plays. All right, so I'm going to randomly pick three preseason superstars. I'm going to pick Zamiah Vaughn, Michelle Powell, and Levi Drake Rodriguez on for your three preseason stars on defense. Offensively, Brosmer. I think Brosmer will look good. All right. Xavier Scott's going to turn some heads, and then I'll pick Deshaun Jones. Yeah, so there you go. Then special teams wise, Oscar Chapman on the practice squad doesn't count against you as an international pathway player. Could he beat right? Probably not. Kick returners, Rondale Moore, Bolden's on the practice squad. You toss Ty Felton in there as well. I don't know. It's going to work itself out. Who knows? Anyways, that's it. That's at Vikings 53-man rooster projection as well as practice squad because we are not cowards. Let us know your thoughts. Our thoughts, comment section. You guys are the best here to do. Skol, production value.